始まりましたとさ。ザ・スタディ・パラブル・ウルトラ・デラックス。エンドいろいろ集めたいと思いますっていうさ、話をしようとしてたんやけど、一旦これ見て。これ何？この犬と猫が友達になるようにスライダーを調整してください。いいけど。友達になるのに正しいさ、あれって何なの？距離感って何？ちょっと待ってな。ちょっと待った。投下されてない？されてます。これを、映画に、調整するとこから、よいしょ。よいしょ。この犬猫が友達になるように、とりあえず調整しますか。ちょっと待って。これ違います。チザのザ・スタンリー・パラブル。多分、合ってる。あら！ここまでいったら恋人じゃない？友達。一番これ、ワクワクする時期。これまでいったら行き過ぎだけど、これぐらい。5が9になるまでスライダーを調整してください。5、スマイリー、メモ帳、オッケー、旗、9。キャビネット、なにこれ。で、飛行機、パソコンベル、9、テレビ、9。ちゃんとした9もあるし、ギリシャ数字の9もある。はい。あなたがスライダーの調節をやめるまでスライダーを調整してください。やめました。この2つの造語ならどちらが、何これザ・スタンリー・パラボをやらせてもらえんのやけど何？この2つの造語なら、あなたが、どちらがあなたにとって魅力的ですか？オッキュボインカル、オッキュボインカルか、スクラムティッシュ、オッキュボインカルだな。スライダーを調整しないでください。よし。騙されんぞ。今何時かわかりますか？もちろん。その現在の時刻は正しい時間ですか？哲学ですか？そもそも時間って何なんでしょうか？哲学だな、これは。概なんです。あなた自身のことで私まだ何か言ってないことがありますか？いっぱいあります。助けて、ホラーゲーム始まっちゃった。また私を訪ねてきてくれますか？いいよ。怖っ。この、結局何やったんっていうのが一番怖いんだけど。ちょっと待って。微妙にこサイズが、これくらい。なんかホラーなんよ。待機。やってるよ。始まってるよ。今回は、前までの麦の配信を見てて、そういえばこれしてないねっていう、スキップするんですけど、そういえばこれしてないねっていうやつと、あとちょっとどっかで見たいような、
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
裏ルー
Perhaps
ト
he had
的な
simply
や
missed
つ
a
を
memo.
やろうかなと思います。あとスタンリーのさ、フィギュアを全部集めないといけないんだよ。まず思った、やってないじゃん、そういえばって思ったのが、あれです。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this
そ
was
れを
not the
当たり
correct
前
way
の
to
よ
the
うに
meeting
逆らい
room, and
続けた
Stanley
結
knew it
果の
perfectly
さ
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
あ
Yes, truly a
の
room
赤い
worth
ドア、青
admiring.
いドアに
But eager to
乗っ
get
た
back
時
to
に
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
赤いドア、青いドア選んだ時にさ、言う通りちゃんと赤
Stanley
い
was
ド
so
ア
bad
に
at
乗っ
following directions, it's
入って
incredible he
さ、
wasn't 5
あ
years
れしちゃっ
ago.
たん。乗れる。なんかあっちとかもありそうなんですけどね。こうやって。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the
あそこ
wrong
までな
foot
んかいけ
here.
そうなんだよ。
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I
Innocent,
realize that
thank you.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for
Zero
others? Are you that
consideration.
convinced that I want
Yeah.
something bad to happen to you?
I am very,
I don't know how to
very no
convince you of this, but I
consideration.
really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove it.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal
最
the
初の数
second
字が
number,
2
and
番目
that
の
will
数
be
字と同
it.
じになる。
We'll be different people by
そうや
then.
な。
Different in the
6
sense
にな
that
る。
we used to
私た
have
ちは彼らを
none
持っ
of
ていな
them.
かったの
And
に、
now
今は
we
全
have
て
them
持ってると
all.
いう意味での
You
違
can't
い
go
です。
back to when you had no
私たちは
Figler
も
and
う
Marines.
フィギ
None
ュア
of
ル
us
リター
can.
ンズ、何誰も戻れない。この部屋なんだ
Now listen
Ask it,
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
これで赤いドアをね、素直に通り抜けちゃったんだよ。
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley
こ
walked
れずっ
through
と
the
マ
red
ジ、
door.
なんか続くやつか小麦。
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley
誰は
walked
赤い
through
ド
the
アを
red
通り抜けます
door.
あります。
All right, fine.
いい
Go
ぞいい
ahead,
ぞ、どうぞ、
Stanley.
やったやった
You
や
want
っ
to
た。
know
そ
so
こ
badly
で
what's
そこ
out
に何
there?
があ
You
るか
want
知
to
りたい
find
ですか
out what
自
lies
分
at
が
the
選
end
ん
of
だ
this
道の先
road
に何
you've
があるのか
chosen?
知りたい
Well,
のです
don't
か
let me
まあ止められ
stop
っこないですが。
you. You see? There's nothing here.
ここには何
I
もない
hadn't
の
even
です。
finished
こ
building
の
this
この部
section
は
of
ま
the
だ
map
作り終わってな
because
い
you
の
were
で
never
す。
supposed to be here in
な
the
ぜあな
first
たはこ
place.
こに来るとそもそも
Broken
想定
rooms,
してなかったから
exposed
です。
developer
デ
textures.
ベロッ
Is
パ
this
ーテ
what
クス
you'd
チャーってこれ
wanted?
で
Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out
128、
specifically for
壁
you?
の
Do you not think I put a lot of
テク
time
スチャ
into
が
that?
ここ
Because
に
I
貼り付
did.
けられますよ。
And in the
みたい
end,
な
it was
話
all for nothing.
ダイヤモン
Because
ドアートみ
this
たい
is
な
what you wanted to see.
それ無
Help
駄だっ
me here,
たんです。
Stanley. Help
ね、助け
elucidate
てよ、
these
スタンリー。
strange
こ
and
の件まで
unknowable
深さにあなた
desires
の
of
欲を説明
yours.
してくだ
What
さ
would
い。
have made this
違う、
game
なんか
better?
全
What
てを
did you
見たい
want
なっ
to
ていう
see?
知識欲かも。
Vehicles? Skill
スキル
trees?
ツリー、
Work with me? You've given
す
me
べてを見たい。
absolutely nothing so
一緒
far.
に頑張りましょう
Tell
よ。
you what. Let me take a stab in the
とりあえ
dark at a
ず
new design
手
and you
探り
can
で
give me
無
some
心デザインに挑
feedback.
戦してみるから。
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
え、
Okay, I'm going to stop you
Allez.
there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it
それぐらい
either.
かも。
You enjoyed it,
あなたを耐え
perhaps
た
is
と
the
いうの
correct
が
term.
正しい言い
It
方な
didn't
のか
cause
な。
you
耐え方苦痛を与えたわけでは
excruciating
ありません。
pain. Big steps we've made
私
here
たち
today,
は今日
Stanley.
ないわねだ。うん。
Here, based on the data from your
新
previous
しいバージョン。
playthrough, I've compiled a new
まだ
version.
新しいバー
And
ジ
to
ョン
be
があるの
perfectly
かもな。
candid, I think
自分は
I've
翻
knocked it
訳
out
に
of the
申し訳
park
な
with
く
this
無限
one.
できたと思っ
Let's
て
take
ま
a
す。
look.
では見てみましょう。The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard。リーダーボード。おー。グッドオールドネイルすげえ。2秒でクリアしてるこのゲーム。2丁2丁。わあ、いっぱい。いっぱいいっぱいいっぱいいっぱい。Did you know 21.3% のプレイヤーがスキップダインと、How long does it take collect the door? いっぱいかかってる。こんな遊んでるっけ、マジ7時間半もやってるこのゲーム。あ、小麦、C2 完結編そうだよ。いろんなエンド見てみる。珍しいやつとか。そういえばね、前回のゲーム、前回のね、パートが、
Now, would you
なん
say
か著
that
作権の
competitive
申し立てって言っ
leaderboard
て、
helped you feel
音楽
motivated
の
to keep
さ、
walking through doors?
権
Again,
利、
honest answers, please.
この人にもし、あれされてたら、 これがもし収益化してたらこの人にお金が入っていきますよっていうさ、著作権の申し立てがされてて、誰にって思ったらね、エレベーターの中で流れてたボサノバ音楽にでした。4番
Hey,
から
I
か
nearly
な。
forgot. I've got a prototype of the new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some
新しい
playtesting.
ゲームの
You
作
wouldn't
品や
mind
らせ
taking
て
a
く
look
れ
at
る
it,
の？
would you? Perfect. Let
い
me
い字
boot it
幕は
up.
いらない。いや、ちょっとギリギリ。
In this
うわ
game, the baby crawls left
これ知ってる
towards
ぞ。
danger. You click the button to move him
ボタン
back
を
to
クリッ
the
クする
right,
と、
and if
多
he
分右
reaches
に
the
戻ります。
fire, you
火のところま
fail.
で行ってしまっ
It's a
たら
very
失敗です。
meaningful game,
家庭
all
生
about the
活における絶
desperation
望
and
と終わり
tedium
なき
of
ことの大
endlessly
切さを表
confronting the
現する非常に
demands
意
of
味深いゲー
family
ムです。
life.
現
I
実世界
think
で
the
赤ちゃん
art
成長
world
するや
will
ろ。
really take notice.
ファンとかが
But
と
of
って
course,
もいま
the
すよ。
message of the game
私は
only
もちろん
becomes clear
このメッ
once
セージ
you've
が
been
明ら
playing
かに
it
な
for
るのは
about 4
4時間。
hours. So why
こ
don't
れ
you
ね、
give
本
it
当
4
に4
hours
時間
of
プレイ
play
し
to
て
make sure it's
得られる
effective?
エンド
Be
があ
sure
る
to
ん
keep
ですけど、
notes
ちょ
on
っ
your experience.
とこの配信これから4時間プレイになったら怖いじゃん、みんなは。まあまあまあ、言ってね。
You heartless
この血も涙も
bastard.
ない野郎め。
Did you do it because you hate
赤ちゃん
babies
嫌いな
or
のか、それとも
purely to
純粋に
spite
私に対する
me?
嫌がらせ
Because
か。
if it's the latter,
も
well,
し
I
こう
don't
した
know
の
what
は
to
非
do.
属
I'm
性の赤
completely
ちゃん
out
に
of
してみたかっ
ideas.
たんだ。
I
はい、
can't
やべえ。
think of a single thing that
ゲーム
might
ガチャを
improve
高
the
めるのか、こ
experience
れっぽっ
for
ちも
me.
思いつきません。
I'm not even going to
私は
try.
もう試
I'm
そうって
out.
いう気もない。
I'm
もうや
out.
めだ。
I'm
帰る。
done.
やってらんない
It's
よ。もう
over.
終わりです。
Thank you for
どうも
playing.
プレイして
Your
いただきあ
input
りが
was
とうございま
extremely
した。あなたの
valuable.
貢献は非
Oh,
常に有
hey,
益です。
since my game was so
あ、そう
awful,
だ。
why
私
don't
の
we
ゲー
play
ムがあま
someone
りにひどか
else's
ったというこ
game?
とで、
Just
こ
to
の
ease
苦
the
痛を和らげる
pain.
ために他の誰かが
Let's
作った
see.
ゲームをプレイしましょうよ。
What do we have
何があったっけ？いやでもこのゲームやり終わった後にさ、何のゲームしようか悩んでる
This
んで、
seems like it'll
教
work.
えてもらっ
Let's
ていいで
give
す
it a
か？新
shot.
しいゲーム。何教えてくれるんだろう。え？
Aha!
これ
Fascinating.
何？
What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
めっちゃ
What's
好
our
きだと思う。
backstory? What is our
あ
motivation?
さ、これさ、ザ・ロング
But
ダ
it
ークっ
seems
て知ってる？み
obvious
ん
to
な。
me that you are meant to play as a creepy man
キモい
spying
や
on
つっ
innocent
て、キモ
civilians
タワーから
below
罪
you
の
from
ない
up
シーン
high
を
in
警
your
察するので
creep
す。
tower.
多分
Perhaps
好
for
き
some
だよ、そ
sort of
れ。
twisted erotic
これも
purpose.
さ、見たことあるよ。
Yes, that must be it.
これ
What
な
a
んていうゲー
fascinating
ム？
venture into the experience of total mental
無限無用
depravity.
なんだけ
So
ど、こういう
far,
こ
I
の
love
テクスチャーに。
everything about this game, Stanley.
全
And
て
it
が大
seems
好き
there's
ですよ。
even
無限を
more.
多分好きになる
Come,
からさ。
let's venture outward and see what else
外
is
行け
out
んのこれ。
there.
楽しみになる。普通に楽しみになるって。いいんですか？あ、なんかこれ、一回やった気がする。あってなったことある気がする。死体処理のゲームって全部終わったんだっけ？あれね、日本語訳が登場したからちょっとやってみたい。赤ちゃんほら、赤ちゃんにとってはちょっと地獄やったかもしれん、さっきのゲーム。これ飛び降りだってできる。それスタンリーパラボルか。ミゲな、こういう雪山で遭難するザ・ロングダークっていうゲームを個人的にね、20時間ぐらいやってたんですけど。
It is. It's an
Open
open
world
world
game.
game.
Ah,
Good
so
God,
no?
quickly block it off.
早く工夫させて。
Thank goodness,
これ
Stanley,
一
what a
定
close
方向に
call.
走り続
Really
けて
wandered
たら
off
も
into
しか
that,
して
that
間に合ったんか
thing,
な？
that
出れた
big
かな？
open, just wandering
もう
around,
キラ
no
ブの
right
正
or
解は
wrong
間違いなくただ
directions,
さまよいう
no
ろうろ
path
す
to
るだけ。
follow. You
お
can
前
just
さ
go in any...
ヒヤキンのことバカにしてる？
Oh,
あ、よ
thank
かった。
heavens
よく
we avoided
避
it.
けられて。
We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
日本語訳が最近ね、
I'm
対
going
応
to
し
get
た
us
ら
out
しい
of
から、
here. Let's find
やりた
another
いんだよね、毎
game.
回。
Preferably something with
でもなん
walls.
か、新し
Something
い
with
の見る
nice,
ためにどうしたらいい
big,
んかわかんない。何か
insurmountable
いい感じに大
walls.
きくて乗り越えられない壁があるやつ。
Okay, I
大き
think
くて乗り
this
越えられ
will
ない
be
壁が
just
あ
the
るゲー
thing.
ムってなんやろ。お、知ってるこれ。知ってる。
Wonderful.
あ
See,
の、
this is
車で
exactly what I
さ、
had in mind. Just a
車
nice
で
big
サッカ
box
ー
for
する
you
や
to
つじゃな
run
いの？
around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost
これ
here.
ってな
Now
んだっけ？
this is game design.
ゴッドフィールドじゃな
Stanley,
く
if you manage
て。
to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
突然の壁。ボールは？
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
私たちは具体
There
的
are
な
lots
何
of
をするの
cars
か。
here in the back,
た
but
くさんの
obviously
車
there's
がある
no
んですか？ほらほらほ
racetrack.
ら。
Okay, I'm
車にサッ
seeing
カ
that
ーす
there's
る
a
やつでし
ball
ょ。
of some kind back
Okay,
here.
何
Is
それ？
this game sports ball? Stanley,
Sports ball.
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what
どこよ？
fun.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown
タッチダウン
together.
するする。
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
Look.
Have fun.
あ、出た。 いけいけいけいけ。どっちチーム？何どっちチーム？ほらほら。あら。ゴール。あれ。
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will
何？
you write a story without
見
me?
た
You
ことない、見
can't
た
do
こ
it.
とない。
You know that. Stanley.
まだたくさんあるのに。何これ？ロケットリーグ、それロケリだ。もうちょっと見たかった、さっきのとこ。知らないかもです。初めて見たかもしれません。楽しい。楽しい。麦さ、自分の部屋手に入れてそこで配信できるようになったらこういう部屋で配信したい。バーチャルワールドでね。実際住むのあれは嫌だけど、配信用の部屋としてああいう部屋欲しいな。こういう部屋が欲しい。この音楽のさ、編集とかしよる。こういう部屋。それ用の部屋。なんだろう、俺。ホラーゲームみたいなのちょっとね。違う、自分の部屋はある。っていうか、一人暮らししとうから。
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
ボールでかいんだ、あれ。車ででもタックルするから、あれぐらいのサイズだと思
I
ってた。
can wait.
持ちましょう。待たんといけんの？終わるまで。じゃあなんか雑談でもします？終わるんや。なんや。終わっちゃった。いいじゃん。そう。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
ねえ。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
なんか
memo.
窓から飛
No
び降り
matter
れ
how
る
hard
って。
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a
しまし
trace
た。
of his
どこの窓
co-workers.
かわかんない。どこの窓なんだろう。窓から飛び降りれるという話は聞きましたよ。ここじゃない。どこだろう。風船か。なんかね、そう、なんかこういううろうろしてたら乗れるとこがあるんだよ、このゲームには。
At first, Stanley assumed he'd
幕を
broken the
壊
map
してしまったと
until
思
he
い込
heard
んで
this
しまった。し
narration
かしこの
and
ナレーション
realized
式、
it was
これは
part
ちょっ
of
と
the
ゲームデザイ
game's
ン一部だっ
design
た
all
ので気が
along.
つきました。ほら
He then praised the game for its
そしてこ
insightful
れは
and
この
witty
ゲームの
commentary
構造を
into
批
the
判し
nature
物
of
語
video
の比
game
喩的要素
structure
を考察
and
し、
its
その洞察
examination
に
of
道、
structural
一頭に富んだ
narrative
解説を称
tropes.
賛しました。
So, now
さ
that
て、
you're here,
あ
what
な
do you
たが今
think?
ここにいることを
Isn't
どう
this
思
a
いますか？
fun and unique
楽し
place
くて
to
ユニークな
be?
場所じゃない
Why
です
don't
か？
we
そう
take
か
a
な。
minute just
ちょ
to
っと味
drink
わ
it
いま
all
しょう。
in?
オッケー。
Okay, I'm over it
オッケー、もういい
now.
や。
What do you think? Are you sick of
そう、
this
このネ
gag
タ
yet?
もうんざりしちゃってます。
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
そんなこと言ったら続けたくなっちゃうじゃん。悲惨じゃない。またこれ。
There once was a
だっ
man
てスタンリ
named
ーという人々がとて
Stanley
も男らしいと思っ
who
ている
people
男がいました。
considered so manly.
そう、
But
まあ
the truth must be
実
told,
のとこ
he
ろ
was
彼
not
は非常に
very
若
old
く
and was
かなり
quite
結構ヒョロヒョロでした。
particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was
はい、あ、
buttons.
いいじゃん、はい。
He pushed
ハロ
them
ハロー、
like
ハ
some
ローさ
kind
ん、
of
ハロハロ
glutton.
ー。すごい。
He did it all
彼は
day
一日中
in a
意味ありげにを
meaningful
していました
way.
が、
But
彼
his
の脳はとっ
brain
くに機能
had
していな
long
かったので
ceased
す
to。function. Which
そう
is
いうわけ
why
で
he
彼
is
はこ
in
の
this
偶話の中に
parable.
おり、かなりひどい暮らしをしています。
Quite terrible. And if you are not
そしても
strong
し、あな
and
たが
keep
強くない
playing
場合、
along,
これをプレイし
you
続ければ、
too
あなたもかなり
will
耐え難い
become
ことにな
quite
るでしょう。
unbearable.
イエーイ
You too
あなたも
will become
かなり
quite unbearable.
耐え難いことになるのです。また著作権がこいつの音楽に取られるかもしれない。前の第2話みたいに著作権が全てあの曲を作った人のものになってしまうかもしれない。これ本当に終わらないのかな。いやでもコードが進行している。ループになっちゃったかもしれない。はい、ということで、
All of his
そう出れる
co-workers
ん
were
です。
gone. What could it
あと
mean?
一つ
Stanley decided to go to
やっ
the
て
meeting
みたい
room.
ことが
Perhaps he had
ござ
simply
いま
missed
し
a
て
memo.
ですね。まあスタンリーの銅像フィギュア
When
も全部
Stanley
集
came
め
to
た
a
いんだ
set
け
of
ど、
two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
ラージルーム、ロットオブボックス。ボックスがたくさんあるでっかい部屋にスタンリーの像があるらしいんですけど、どこでしょうか。それは残り1個なんだ。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
ここに入る直前で出る。痛い。エクスキュティブバスルーム。ここではスターリーの像も手に入れましたね。挟まれたんじゃけどさあ、ここ
Stepping into it,
よしここだ。戻れるようになるんですよね。特定の場所でこうスッて逃げたら。スタンリーのものではない。よし、戻りましょう。特定の場所でね、引き返すとずっと戻れていけるようになるんですよ。どうや。風船がさ、浮かびすぎてこのクティってなるやつ。はあ、これだ。新しい部屋。You are now living エスケープポットベイフロアポットベイ脱出ポットの停留所フロア760ワク755 756 756これ760までいかんといけんってこと聞いといな。これ乗れたりせんのエレベーター。おー 758? 758階ってことかこれ。ワクワク。これはワクワク。432番のオフィス、こんな高層階あったの？やったー。エスケープポットランチベイ。脱出ポットを打ち上げるとこですね。発射場みたいな。このよくわからん会社から脱出だ。そうだ。こんなマジックで使うボックスみたいな。近づいただけで暗転しちゃった。乗り込まないっていう。暗すぎて見えない。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
あれ
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
あれ暗いか。ちょっとあれする？ちょっと明るくする？明るくできんのかな？視野かか関係ないね。さっきのあれで暗めになっちゃったか？
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あれあれでおしまいなんかな？脱ぎがそれていったから戻されちゃった？
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
いや、お仕事お休みの日だったので、お買い物に行ったんですよ。
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
せっかくなんでその冷蔵庫に入れるね。ここさ、メニューボックスじゃない？
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
違うのか。ここにね、スタンリーのフィギュアあるかなって思ったんやけど。違うか。Me too。新しい冷蔵庫あ、仕事が休みだったってとこかな新しい冷蔵庫ちょうど買ったんやと思った。ラージルームロッツオブボックスってなんだろう。でっかいさ、箱がたくさんある。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
ここさ、バケツ持った状態だったらさ、シール貼っても
There
らえ
was
たじゃ
nothing
ん。
here. No choice to make, no path to
何を持
follow,
たずに行っ
just
た
an
らさ、
empty broom
それはそ
closet.
れでなんか
No reason to still be
いいこと
here.
ある？ここにいる理由はありませんって言われてるけど、いや、いいことあると右は信って疑わんけどね。
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
めっちゃ
FA.
ゴソゴソなの。まあ、容量増えたから当然なんやけど、これまでの冷蔵庫やったらギチギチあったものが。
Are you really still in the broom
あ
closet?
なたは本当に今の
Standing around doing
ちょ
nothing?
何もしないでぼんやり立ってるわけじゃない。冷
Please
蔵庫の
offer me
話し
some
てるからちょっ
explanation
と黙って
here.
てもらっ
I'm
ていい？
genuinely confused.
じゃあ説明じゃなくて、冷蔵庫をね、新しい冷蔵庫にしたら容量がいっぱい余ったから買い
You
物行
do
ってわら
realize
び
there's
餅
no
買ってき
choice
た
or
の。
anything in here, right?
で
If
も
I'd said Stanley walked
Warabi-mochi.
past the broom closet, At least you would have had a reason for exploring it
で
to
もわらび
find
餅
out.
美味しそうだっ
But
た
it
から
didn't even occur
今
to me
日
because
そのまま食べ
literally
ちゃっ
this
たって
closet is
話
of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
何
I never would have thought to
演技
mention
しよう
it.
と思ったことは一応ありませんでした。知らないよ。ナンプラーとか一生使わん調味料
Maybe
かって
to you this
いや
is
いやナン
somehow
プラーなん
its
か
own
大事って
branching
聞いたよ。
path.
魚醤でしょ。
Maybe when you go
美
talk
味しいっ
about
て
this with
聞い
your
たよ。
friends, you'll say,
バズレシピの
"Oh,
人に。
did you get
あ
the
の
broom
物置
closet
エンドに入
ending?
れ
The
たの
broom
あ
closet
の
ending was
物
my
エンドが
favorite."
一番好きだっ
I
た
hope
わ
your。friends find this
友
concerning.
達がさせてくれますように。物置エンドあるのそれを言いたいがためお前はこんなところ
Stanley
に
was
座って
fat
る
and
のって
ugly and really,
スタンリー
really
は太ってい
stupid.
た。さら
He
に魅力
probably
本
only
当に間
got
抜
the
けだっ
job
た。
because of a
彼はおそ
family
らく
connection.
家
That's
族
how
家
stupid
族の
he
コネで
is.
仕事を得た
That
だ
or
け
with drug money.
もしくは
Also,
麻薬
Stanley
の
is
密売
addicted
で
to
お金を
drugs and hookers.
麻薬と娼婦に溺れているのです。めちゃくちゃ文句言ってる。
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion
あな
about
たは
what's
死
going
ん
on
だ
right
のです。い
now.
や、動いとるやろ。
You're dead. You got to this
あ
broom
なたは物
closet,
置について
explored it a
調
bit,
査してこ
and
こ
were
には
just
何も
about
ない
to
のでそ
leave
の場を
because
離れ
there's
ようとし
nothing
た。
here when a physical malady
その
of
時
some
アレスの
sort
身体
shut
的弊
down
害は
your
あなたの
central
中枢
nervous
神経
system
系を停
and
止
you
し
collapsed
あな
on
た
the
はキーボー
keyboard.
ドの上に崩れ
Well,
落
in a
ちたのです。
situation like this,
まあ
the
こういう場合は
responsible
特にい
thing
る
is
人
to
に知ら
alert
せる責
someone
任があるし
nearby so
そ
as
うだ
to
よ
ensure that your
あの
body is taken care of
助け
before
る
it
立場
begins
や
to
ったのに
decompose.
助けなかったっていう
Hello?
Hello?
Anyone who happens to
偶
be
然近くにいた
nearby?
人
The person
こ
at
の
this
パソコンのところ
computer
にいる人
is
死んでますよ
dead. They have fallen prey to any number of
彼らは
your
いくつも
countless
あな
human
た方人類
physiological
の
vulnerabilities.
生理的
It's
脆弱性
indicative
の上
of
に
the
立っている。そ
long-term
れは人類の長期
sustainability
的な
of
持
your
続可能性を
species.
示しているので
Please remove
彼
their
らの死骸を
corpse
そ
from
の
the
場から
area
運び出して
and
他の人が
instruct
代わりにな
another
るよう指
human
示し
to
てくだ
take
さ
their
い。
place, making sure they
彼らに一
understand
人称視
basic
点ゲームの基本的仕
first-person
組みを
video
確
game
実
mechanics
に理
and
解させ
filling them in
彼
on
ら
the
にテレビ
history
ゲー
of
ムにおける
narrative
物語の
tropes
比喩
in
的用
video
語の歴史を
gaming,
詰め込んでく
so
ださ
that
い。
the
このゲー
irony
ムの皮
and
肉と洞察に
insightful
富んだ解
commentary
説
of
が
this
失われないよう
game
に。
is not lost on them.
あ、あれ
All
だ。
right. When you've
俺
done
の
that, just step
笑い
out
を
into
理
the
解する
hallway.
のって知性がいるからねってやつ。流行ってるよね、最近ね。何はい、新しい人です。
second player.
はい、
It's good to
2
have
人
you
目
on
の人
board.
です。どうも。
I guarantee you
君
can't
が
do
前に
any
いた
worse
人
than
よ
the
りさらに
person
悪い
who
ことは
came
できない
before
と
you.
保証しますよ。
You
あな
too.
たも
Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an
私は
entire
病人という
species of
死の言いなり
invalids.
になっている。
Perhaps there's a
ひょっ
monkey
とするとあ
nearby
な
who
た
can
の
hand
近
the
くに
controls
制御を
to.
任せられる
A
猿がいる
fish?
かもしれないよ。
Fungus?
魚、
Look,
金
you
類。
can hammer
い
out
い
the
ですね。
details.
あ
I'm
なたを
not
詳しい
particularly
話を聞
picky.
き出すことが
I'll
でき
just
ず、
be
私は
waiting
細
for
か
when
いこ
you're
とを
ready
聞き
to
ませ
pick
ん。
up the
じゃああ
story
なたがまた
again.
この話を取り上げてくれる時が来るのを待っています。ああ、味わい尽くしたか、この物置。2人目のプレイヤーは、ああ、もう構ってくれなくなっちゃった。じゃあいいけど。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
じゃあさっ
boss's
きの脱
office.
出ボットもう一回だけ見に行きましょうか。こっちじゃないんだよ。あそこのエレベーターに右は著作権を奪われました。エレベーターボサノバミュージックっていう曲でした。
Stepping into his
Yes。戻りましょうか。もうナレーターをね、置き去りにしたところで入る物置最高なんだよな。ということで、脱出ボットまっすぐ向かっていったら何かあるのかだけちょっと確認させていただきます。なんかね、まあスタディパラブルめっちゃ奥深い。これ持ったらどうなんだろう。持ったらどうなるんだろう。気になったこと全部やろうとする。うい。We are not living. Yes. 760回までバケツと一緒に上がりましょう。動きうますぎやろ。これ FPS の倍でのやつなんで。ヘンジンさんどうも来てくれてありがとう。理解するまでに条件が必要なのにだってオタクの盛り上がりと変わらない。なんでそんなことひどいこと言うの？いやまあ違う、陽キャ同士のさ盛り上がってんのもさ、オタクから見たらさ、なんこいつらつまんねえのみたいな思うじゃん。でもそれはノリが合わないだけであって、 お互い理解でき合えなくて面白くないっていうのはね、どういう人間同士でもあり得ることなの。それをね、自分の方が後陣いると勘違いして積極臭いことを喋る人はお笑いに向いてない。だから麦もお笑いに向いてないってわけ。よかった、途中で気づけて。危ねえ。よし、エスケープつきましたね。エスケープしよう。暗い。何も見えん。よし、乗り込め。乗り込める。ええバケツ。涙拭ってる？涙を拭ってあげてる？じゃあな。達者でな。バケツの方をいやいやいや。いや、脱出せんのかい。おい。脱出せんのかい。名残惜しそうに手を伸ばすんじゃないよ。さよなら。いろんなエンド見れましたか？いろんなエンド見てる今。バケツを宇宙に送り出すなどしました今は。だいぶエンド見た末に瞑想してる人のやることやね。
He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
どうすんの？バケツ使ったエンド見れなくなったんだけど。バケツ使ったエンドが見れなくなったんだけど。なくなっちゃった。なんで？
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
迎えに行っていいですか、バケツのこと。バケツ。身内ネタってそいつらしか身内ネタのね、よしあしはもういいんだよ。バケツがいなくなっちゃったんだよ。麦の唯一の身内。スタンリーフィギュア探すか。
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
ダメダメダメダメダメ。
I
ちょっ
won't
と
be
もう
part
繰り
of
返
this.
さない
I'm
で
not
よ。
going to
私全
encourage
然
you.
関わる
I'm
つも
not
りはあり
going
ま
to
せん。
say
私あな
anything
たを
at
励ますつも
all.
りも何か
I'm
言うつも
just
りもあ
going
り
to
ませ
be
ん。
patient
私
and
仕
wait
事
for
という
you
かあ
to
なたがこの部
finish
屋にとっても
whatever
楽
it
しんでい
is
る
you
ことがないだ
enjoy
ろうか。
doing
それが
so
終わる
much
のを
in
ただ
this
待つつもり
room.
です。
Please
ごゆっくりどう
take
ぞ。
your time.
めちゃくちゃキレられた。ぶち
Coming
切
to
れ
a
られた。
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
Tano.
boss's office.
ちょっとさ、まあ一回ね、一回迎えに行こう、バケツのこと。
The moment he
一回迎えに行こう。てか麦が乗り込むエンド見てないし、そもそもなんかそれちゃって、すごいバケツ愛。今日迎えいいね。あいつ何かしら。ほんまにこのゲームおもろい。何これ。あとさ、でっかい部屋でボックスが箱がたくさんある場所っていうとこにさ、スタンリーフィギュアがね、あと1個隠されてるんだけど、どこかわかんないんだよ、それが。広い部屋でバケツ、広い部屋で箱がたくさん。どこでやろう。よし、何回この階段登らなあかんねん。バケツを迎えに行くんや。実質宇宙兄弟だからね。今更ね、宇宙兄弟のさ、映画を見たんだよ。なんかね、良かったです。でもめっちゃ怖くなっちゃうんだよ。メゲさ、宇宙とか深海とかさ、ああいう自分の手の中に収まらないものに対して異様に恐怖心抱いちゃうんだよね。海外のゲームって時々さ、その最終ステージにたどり着くために海の中潜っていかないといけなかったりするじゃん。パッと思いつくもんだったら、食人族の住まう森フォレストっていうゲームがあるんだけどさ、そのゲームでもね、 一回なんか洞窟みたいなとこで水中に潜ってで顔出してとかで繰り返して奥の基地みたいなとこに行かないといけないんだけど、いや本当にそれ怖くて油汗だらだらでさ、どっかに腰とかつっかえて上がってこれなくなったらどうしようっていうさ、恐怖がもう抑えきれんかった。バケツおらんバケツおらんがな。あ、自分はいけない？しかも。いや、バケツマジでじゃあおらんくなってんやけど。
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
リプレイスメントバケツ。代わりのバケツですよって置いといてくれてる。次ね、バケツと一緒にやりたいことあったの。そしてこれも失わないようにしろよ、間抜けろ。なんでそんなこと言うの？スタンリーはバケツに頬を寄せました。本当に全員いなくなったんでしょうか？違うの。次はね、やりたいことあんの。このバケツと一緒に投身自殺。よいしょ。よし。うまくなっちゃった。
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself, perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No, said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gamhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... Stanley screamed even louder this time. This is
Bucket!
This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
バケツといろいろありすぎて麦の感情が追いつかない。バケツとの思い出が、いや、怖いんだ、可愛いね。なんなんだ。
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
ドア取り抜けたら、すべてのドア取り抜けられる。バケツとさ、また一緒に行った時の喋り方も気になるんやけど、いや、バケツなしでやりたいことあるんやな。
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded.
そうして前にダメだった。バケツを持つなって言ったやろって説教されるかと思った。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
大丈夫な
memo.
バケツだったみたい。リフト乗ったとこ、箱めっちゃなかったっけ？麦そこ行きたいんだよ。さ、電
When
話取
Stanley
る取らな
came
い
to
み
a
たいな
set
と
of
こで
two
さ、
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
ジョーク
Stanley
に
knew it
関する
perfectly
さ、
well.
指導を
Perhaps
受
he
けた
wanted
じ
to
ゃん。
stop by the employee
あれ
lounge
さ、
first, just to
麦あれ
admire
して
it.
ない。
The lounge
バ
was
ケツなしで
sublime,
行ってな
a
い
work of
と
art.
思う。
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ナレーター物置嫌いやね。なんでそんな。確かに
Stanley
箱い
was
っ
so
ぱいあ
bad
る。
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
どうやって行くんだろう。ここ落ちても知らない？行けた。やった。
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've
あなたは仕
insisted
事を成し
that
遂げ
a
ること
job
自体が
well
奉仕であると
done is
粘り
its
強く
own
主張したの
reward.
です。
I would tell you
私
that
はあな
I'm
たが
proud of
全
you
て
for
集めたこ
collecting
とを
them
誇り
all,
を持っと
but
いた
that
いで
would
す
be
が、
like a
そのことが
reward,
なんか報
and we
酬み
can't
たいに
have
なるので
that.
言えません。
So,
だからそ
instead
の代わ
I'll
り、
just
終わっ
say
た。
it's
もう全部終
done.
わったんだよ。
We're all
と
done
だけ言いま
here.
す。
And now we can
そ
go
して
to
さ、
whatever
フ
the
ィギュ
hell
ア
you
を
were
探
doing
す前にして
before
た
you
ことが何
hunted
であ
for
れ、戻りま
figurines.
す。終わりです。ありがとうございました。終わりです。でもこんなとこ行けるんだ。落ちる。そこだったら死なないとかある？
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very
違う。
powerful.
そんなさ、ネギを逆張り政治みたいに言わないでもらっていい？違う。ゲーム落ちちゃった。ゲーム落ちるんだ、これ。よくやったスタンリーって言われて、ゲーム落ちた。ちょっと待って。よし、これで映ってますね。何時？誰か本当に完全知ってる人はいますか？もちろんそんな人はいません。あなたと私はお互いを知ってさえいません。まるで他人のようなものです。もちろん、このゲームの設定はあなた仕様に挑戦しています。でも誰もがそうではありません。私はただ私がやってることで仕事のようなものです。そして今仕事は終わりました。そしてもう集める情報はありません。私ができる範囲でのあなたの情報は全て集めました。そしてまだ私はあなたのことを本当には知らない。あなたも私は知らない。そして私たちは共に何時なのか知らない。いや、知ってるけどね。設定できないものはいくつかあるとは思います。しかし正直に言えばそもそもの時はこのゲーム上で何も関係ないんですよね。次回ゲームをスタートするとき私はここにいないことになるがそれもいいでしょう。テレビゲームって一人で済むものでしたし。あなたは孤独が好きでしょ？そんなことないよ。それが多分私はあなたについて学んだ唯一のことかもしれません。さて私はもう行かなくちゃ。もう一つ調整する必要がある設定があるんですけど、それはちょっと時間がかかるから事前に準備しないと。本当は私の仕事ではないんですが、多分それでもいいのです。もしあなたが私を見つけられるのなら、また私たちはああでしょう。またね。なんか調整、時間がかかる調整で、今はないけど、後々できるようになることがあるのか？なんだろう。何ができるんでしょうね。
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figures. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but would you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
しょうがないな。脱したいことあるんじゃけど。仕方ないな。ていうかメモリーゾーン戻ってフィギュリーンズに会うまでって結構やんないといけないよ。 びっくりした。もうめんどなんかもらってるわ。これは前のやつと一緒か？でも向こうだったよ、本当は。開かない。なんだろう。あれしてくれるんだ。最初のコレクターアイテムです。当時はいくつ見つかるかも分かりませんでしたね。あれには6つと表示してましたが、どうしてそれをはっきりと知ることができたのでしょう。私たちはただ純粋でした。もう二度とあんな風にはこっち行けるよ。
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
1個目も取ったらよかった。じゃあ1個目も取ったらよかった。くそ。
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
ボスオフィスか階段の下？どっちもあったのしか覚えてないな。じゃあこっち。
Hey! That's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
こんな部屋いた？なにこれ？ピンクの部屋。なにこのピンクの部屋？おしゃん。
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
How you find it? By the narrator. What is in there? What's in there? ここIt means Stanley Parable やったじゃん。バキッ You find me near the red and blue doors. Thank you for watching. カスみたいな動画作りよって。いや、わかるよ。動画作るの大変なの。救急車来たの。
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8分もなかったでしょ、このビデオ。どっち？あ、一緒か。こっちか。怖っ。
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
なるほど。これさ、見つける順番とかってさ、人によってそれぞれでしょ？この道順とかってどう？すごいね。ムービーメーカー編集やったね。何？
And then there was no more.
あ、すごい。
Because
自
we've
分の視
caught
点が
up
そ
to
のまま
the
ここに
present
映ってる。
moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future.
あと未来
Goodbye,
に向かっ
memory
て進む
zone.
のみです。さよならメモリーゾーン。あなるほど。
No,
まだ終わ
no,
ってな
no,
かった。
I'm
まだ
not
準備
done.
できてませ
I'm
ん。
not ready to move on. Stop the
ローディン
loading
グ前を
screen.
止めて。
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep
いろいろ
enjoying these
逃げねえ
figurines?
ぞ。
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
めんどくさい。逆からまたこれ集め直
Okay,
すって
yes.
こと
This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
メモリーツアーのツアーやりだしたんだけど、この人。いやいやいやいや。
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
うるさい。うるさい、うるさい。
Yes, I love that
そう
video.
なの。よかったね。自分の作った動画ずっと好きなもんね。いいことだと思う。でも。もう集めなくていいんじゃない？ここなんだ
Still don't remember the pink room,
So,
Stanley.
これ何？
Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid
がっちり
room.
した部屋です。まあまあまあ。
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the
使ったことと
temptation.
っても嬉しいです。
Next
次行こ
one.
う。めんどくせえマジ。はいはいはいはい。
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever
な
choose
ぜ
to
離れ
leave
ている
it?
ことを誰し
Keep
もが選
going.
択するのでしょう。
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
戻ってきた。ガランとしてるけど。なんか、あれか、記憶失ってるってこと？ここら辺の記憶を。結構いろんな要素増えてる。そうよ。
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
カスみたいな。
I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy
時というのは
filter
全
on
てにバラ色
everything.
フィルターを
In
かける
fact, I dare
実
say
際
I'm
というなら
actually
私は今で
quite
はかな
fond
り
of
気
it
に入ってるんで
now.
す。ジャンプサ
Look
ー
how
ク
much
ル。
fun. Oh, yes, the
私
two
のことは誰が忘れられ
dwarfs.
ま
Who
し
could
ょう
have
か。
forgotten that? A
ク
classic
ラシックの思
memory,
い出
this
ですよ、
one.
これは。麦の部屋。
And before everything else,
はい。
there was your
何より
office.
先あなたのオフィスがありました。はい。
Is there anything else?
他に
Was
何
there
があり
something
ま
that
すか？
came
オフィス
before
より
your
も前に
office?
何があったのでしょう？
There's
過去
something
作。
I feel I
過
can
去編
remember. I can remember. I can
思い出せる。
remember.
思い出せるぞ。
Yes,
何があったの？
I'm remembering something now.
今何か
I
思い出しま
remember
した。
before this
こ
whole
の物
story
語が
got
全て始ま
started.
る前
Back
の
then,
思
I
い出
was
しました。
I was
当時
different.
私は違っていま
I used
し
to
た。
make big decisions. I was
私は大きな
passionate.
決断
I
を
was
していました。
skeptical. I weighed
私は情
each
熱的で、
decision with
過去判断に
profound
深い思いやりを込めていま
thoughtfulness.
す が、
And then
ナレ
somewhere
ーター
along
が
the
語
way,
弊
I
始まったんだ
stopped
けど。
making decisions. I became
でも
lazy.
怠け
And
者
I
に
came
な
up
ったんで
with,
す。そ
well,
して私は思いつき
came
ま
up
し
with
た。
a character named
私のため
Stanley
に
to
考
do
え
my
ている
thinking
スタ
for
ンリーとい
me.
う名前のキャ
He
ラク
would
ター
make
を
the
生み出すの
decisions.
で
He would
思
decide
いつ
which
い
way
た
to
のです。
go. I
あ、
would cheer him on as he
スタン
collected
リーっていう
figurines for
自我を
no
持ったキャ
reason.
ラクタ
Why
ー
did I
を
invent Stanley?
ナレーターが作り出したんだ。
Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had
だから見ると想
companionship.
像することが
And
必要だった
Stanley
んで
really
しょ
did
う。
make for a
そしてスタ
wonderful
ンリーは本当に
companion,
素晴らしい
even
仲
if
間
he
となっ
was
た
a
のです。た
fiction.
とえ彼がフィクションであろう
But
と。
I suppose it's grown old.
しかし私は年
I
を
want
取
to
ったん
think
で
for
しょう。
myself
もう一度
again.
自分で考え
I
た
want
く
to
なり
go
まし
back
た。
to how it used to
昔
be.
のように戻りたい。
Yes, I can be on
もう
my
一度自分
own
でできるようになり
again.
た
I
い。
can
私
do
はで
it.
きる。
I'll be stronger this
今度は
time.
強くなる。
I'll take
自
care
分を
of
大事にす
myself.
る。いや、知
I
ら
don't
ん。
need Stanley
もうスタンリー
anymore.
は必要ない。知
Oh,
らんっ
but
て。
he truly
お前の
was
成
so
長は
much
知らんけど、
fun
無
to
理やの
play
スタン
with.
リー使って
You
遊
know
んでる
what?
んだよ。
Since we're in the
もう
memory
一ついい
zone,
思い出を
how
作るのは
about
どう
one
かな。
more good
もう
memory?
ね
Let's go back just
もう
once
一度戻っ
and
て
give
スタンリー
Stanley
にオフ
one
ィスで
more run
働
of
い
the
てもら
office,
おう。
and then I'll
そして彼
retire
とは
him
これ
for
っきりに
good.
するの。いや、知ら
I
んって
did
肩
enjoy
組んでく
telling
んな。
the
と
story so very
っ
much.
ても楽しかったです。
Okay,
そうとっても。
here we
さ
go.
あ、行きましょうか。
This is the
これは
story
スタ
of
ン
a
リー
man
とい
named
う
Stanley.
名の男の物語。エモエモいエンド見せられた。
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-eating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
いや、倉庫の先の
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
ある。これはさ、フィギュア集める以外にもあるんだ、もともと。いけるのかな、この先って。一旦やりたかったことやろう。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly...
もしもし？彼女いんのか、スタンリー。427は。
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
びっくりした。逃げようとしちゃった。びっくりした。
Did you actually think you had a loving wife? They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
かわいい。
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
殺されるんやが。怖い。おはようございます。Press Q on your keyboard. はい。
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
はあ？ピをしてください。はあ？いきすかねえな。何も反応がない。
Look at him there,
ま
pushing
さに言われた
buttons,
通りボタン
doing
を押してる彼を
exactly
見て
what
く
he's
ださい。バ
told
カ
to
にすんなよ、お
do.
前。
Now he's
彼
pushing
は
a button.
今彼はボタンを押してます。
He's
今ラ
eating
ンチを
lunch.
食べてます。
Now
家に
he's
帰り
going
ます。
home.
仕事に戻りま
Now
す。
he's coming back to work. One might even feel
同情
sorry
さえ
for
するかも
him,
しれません。
except that he's
しかしこれは
chosen
彼
this
の選
life.
んだ人生なのです。You を押してください。はいは
But
い。
in his mind,
操り人
in
形で
his
す。
mind, he can go on
不屈です。
fantastic adventures. From behind his desk,
スタンリーは未
Stanley
知の世
dreamed
界
of
のワイルド
wild
な体験
expeditions
に
into the
出ることを夢
unknown,
見ていました。
fantastic
新大陸
discoveries
の
of
フ
new
ァンタスティックディ
lands.
スカバリー
It
な
was
んてワンダ
wonderful.
フルなんだ。横
And
文
each
字を
day
喋
that
る
he
んじゃない
returned to
よ。
work was a
仕事に
reminder
戻る
that
日に
none
そ
of
の
it
こと
would
を起こる
ever
かない
happen
の彼
to
を知ら
him.
せるのですと。テレビを見るために P を押してください。
And so he
テレビ
began
ど
to
こ
fantasize about his own job.
自分の仕事の
First, he
構想をす
imagined
る
that。one day
ある
while
日
at
の
work,
勤務中、
he stepped up from his
デスク
desk
から
to
立ち上が
realize
り、
that all of his
女の
co-workers,
子の
his
声だ
boss,
と思ったよ。
everyone in the building
ああ、
had
ビルの
suddenly
中にいる
vanished
全員が
off the
地球
face
上
of
から
the
姿を
earth.
消したっていう
The
妄想を
thought
ね、し
excited
てい
him
たと。
terribly.
少年たちと過ごすためにキーを押してくださ
So
い。
he went further. He
で、
imagined that he
二つの
came
ドア
to
が
two
開
open
いて
doors
て、
and
どっ
that he
ちも
could
選
go
択
through
肢で通
either.
れるよっ
At
ていう環
last,
境。
choice.
選
It
択に飢え
barely
てるから
even。mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought
あれは
that his
スタンリーが
decisions
見
would
てた
mean
夢ってこ
something
とね。
was almost too
びっ
wonderful
く
to
りした、これ。
behold.
夕食の準備をするため、愛を
As he
押して
wandered
くださ
through
い。
this
うう
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
Office?
paths and
No.
destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room
道を
with
たどっていくと、たく
monitors
さんの
and
モニター
mind
とマインドコントロー
controls.
ルがある。
And down
円形の
another
巨
was
大
a
な
yellow
空間
line
があ
that
り、
weaved in many
黄色の
directions.
ライン、
And down another was a game with a baby.
赤ちゃんと遊ぶ
And
ゲ
he
ーム。
called it
そう
the Stanley
スタンリ
Parable.
ーパラブルと呼びました。子供たちにお話を読み聞かせるた
It
めに
was
キーを
such
押し
a
てください。
wonderful fantasy,
それは
and
なんと
so
も
in
素
his
晴らし
head
い空
he
想で、
relived it
彼は頭の中で
again
幾度も
and
追
then
体験し
again
ました。
and again, over and over,
こ
wishing
れ
beyond
全部ス
hope
タンリー
that
の
it
脳
would
なんて
never
こと。
end, that he might
この自由
always
な感覚が
feel
いつま
this
でも終わらない
free.
ようにと。
Surely there's an answer
こ
down
こに
some
新
new
しい道
path.
がきっ
Mustn't
とある
there
そうだ
be?
ろう。今やっ
Perhaps
て
if
る
he
メニューみ
played
たいな。
just one
もし
more
彼がもう一
time.
回だけプレイしたのなら、あなたの妻に愛を伝えるために M を押してください。愛してるよ。
But there is no answer. How could there
しかし答
possibly
えなどない
be?
のだ。どう
In
してあるのだ
reality,
ろうか。
all he's doing
彼
is
がやってる
pushing
こ
the
とというの
same
は愛があ
buttons
る
he
同じボ
always
タンを押すという
has.
ことだけ
Nothing
で
has
す。何も変わってはい
changed.
ません。
The longer he spends here,
確
the
かに
more invested
WASD
he
を押してる
gets,
だけだわ。
the more he
現
forgets
実界
which
との
life
世界
is
は
the
あやふや
real
になって
one.
しまうのです。寝るために G を押してください。
And
は
I'm
い。
trying to tell him
でも
this,
さ、G を
that
押す
in
だけで
this
パッて
world
眠
he
れんだ
can
ったら
never
よ
be
くない？
anything but an
観察者以
observer.
外の何
That
も
as
ないよう
long
な
as he
の。
remains
ここに
here,
とどまる
he's
限
slowly
り、彼は
killing
自らをゆっ
himself.
くり殺してい
But
る
he
のだ
won't
と。
listen to me.
しかし彼は
He won't
耳を
stop.
貸そうとしない。
Here,
彼はやめ
watch
ようとし
this.
ないのです。
Stanley, the next
Stanley,
time the screen
次は
asks you
あ
to
なたに
push
ボ
a
タンを押しては
button,
求めても
do
押してはいけま
not
せんよ。
do it.
じゃあ、一旦押さんとくこれじゃあ押さないで見る？いいけど別に。言うことちょっとだけ聞いてやってもいいけどね。朝から出勤めんどくさいよな。確かにな。でもないじゃん、多分これ。何にもないじゃん。
You see?
ねえ、
Can he
聞こ
just
えない
not
だけ
hear
なの
me?
かな？
How can I
ど
tell
うや
him
ったら
in a
彼
way
が
that
理
he'll
解してくれるだろ
understand
う。
that
こ
every
こにいる
second he
毎秒毎
remains
秒は
here,
君
he's
を
electing
死
to
に追
kill
いやるんだとい
himself?
うこと。
How can I get him
ど
to
うし
see
たら
what I
彼は
see?
彼が
How
何
can
を
I
見て
make
いる
him
のか
look
分
at
かるでしょう。
himself?
どうすれば私は彼に何も質問しないために F を押してくださ
I
い。
suppose I can't. Not in the
私
way
に
I
は彼
want
が
him
望
to.
んだやり方でない
But
こと
I
はで
don't
き
make
ないの
the
でしょうか。
rules.
しかし
I
私
simply
はル
play
ール
to
を
my
使わずスターリ
intended
ーと同じよう
purpose,
に
the
ただ
same
私
as
の本来の
Stanley.
目的に合わせて
We're
プ
not
レイ
so
しているだけ
different, I
です。
suppose.
私たち
I'll
は同
try
じような
once
ものなん
more
じ
to
ゃないか。
convey all this to him.
この
I'm
全てを彼
compelled
に伝えよ
to.
う。
I must.
伝えなくちゃ。
Perhaps. Well, maybe this time
多
he'll
分今
see.
回は分かってくれるでしょう。
Maybe this time.
何？
And I tried
死ん
again.
で
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
怖っ。なんでこんな怖いこと言うの？びっくりした。 なんだね。あ
All
ん
of
な
his
電話取ら
co-workers
ない
were
方が
gone.
いいじゃん。
What could it
電話
mean?
取らない方見てるよ
Stanley
ね。
decided to go to the meeting room.
バケ
Perhaps
ツ
he
取
had
って
simply
たらバ
missed a
ケツと
memo.
の幸せ生活だったんだよね。で、バケツを取らない
When
で、
Stanley
じゃあ
came
バ
to
ケ
a
ツを
set
取
of
っ
two
て、
open doors, this was not the
電話
correct
を
way to the meeting room, and
線抜
Stanley
い
knew
たら、
it perfectly well.
あの、
Perhaps he wanted to
受ける
stop
ジ
by
ョ
the
ークの
employee
喋り
lounge
方っていう
first,
のを
just to admire it.
レクチャーされたんだよ、ビデオで。
Wow. Yes.
じゃあ、
This
バケツな
room.
しで、
But eager
あ
to
の
get
電
back
話
to
線抜い
business,
たらどう
Stanley
な
took
る
the
かちょっ
first
と
open door on
やっ
his
てみよう
left.
か。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
うるせえうるせえ。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
あ
we've
の
gotten
さ、
off
段
on the
ボール
wrong
の上
foot
落ちたら
here.
さ、
I'm
助
not
かる
sure
とかない
Annie,
かな。
really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone
いや、あ
else
そ
can
こ
be
なんであるんだ
difficult,
ろう。あ
but
そ
the
こに
fact
入るた
is
め
that
か。
the story has been about nothing but you
あそこの
all
入り
this
口入ったら
time.
どうなるんだろう。
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
じゃあ次はあそこ
Someone
入っ
you've
てみる。
forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for
いやいや、
me.
嘘だってじゃん。
I'm
彼
asking
女なん
this
てい
is
ないん
it,
でしょ、メギ
Stanley.
ね。
Your chance to redeem yourself.
うる
To
せえ。
put your work aside.
うるせえ。
To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You
いない
need
ん
to
だ
be
よ。
the one to. Oh,
次
no,
に
no,
彼
no,
女
no,
は
you can't. Did you
バカ
just
めが。
unplug the phone? No, that
あ
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
バカだ
Let
よ
me
ね。
double check.
再確認させてください。焦ったわ、焦ったわ。
No, it's definitely here,
間違い
clear
な
as
くこ
day.
こにあった。その日
Stanley
用に。
picks up the
スタンリーは
phone.
手書きを取
He's
りまし
taken
た。
to his
で、ア
apartment
パ
where he
ート
finds
に
his
つけ、
wife,
彼の
and
妻
the
を
two
見つけ、そ
pledge
して二
themselves
人はお
to
互い
one
に誓い合
another.
った。
Music
嘘つ
comes
け。
in, fade to white,
嘘つけ、
roll
嘘つけ、嘘
credits.
つけ。
Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an
違うじゃん。
incorrect course of action.
そんなんじゃなかったよ。お前に彼女はい
None
な
of
いよ。
these
ブブ
decisions
ー
were
ってされ
supposed
た
to
もん。
mean anything. I don't understand.
うる
How
さ
on
い。
earth are you making meaningful choices?
うるさ
What did
い。
you...
バカ。
Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's
so
not
no,
possible. I
信じられ
can't
ない。
believe
何？
it. How had I not
どうし
noticed
てもっ
it
と早く気づけ
sooner?
なかったのでしょ
You're
う。
not Stanley.
あなたはスタンリー
You're
じゃ
a
ない。
real
あなたは実
person.
際。
I can't believe I was so
この
mistaken.
ために
This
勘違い
is
し
why
て
you've
な
been
の
able
で。
to make
だ
correct
から
and
正
incorrect
しい選択
choices.
と間違った
And to
選
think I've
択が
been
できたん
letting
で
you
す
run
ね。
around in this
私
game
があ
for
な
so
たを
long.
このゲー
If
ム
you
の中
made
ずっと
any
走
more
らせてる
wrong
と思った
choices,
ら
you might have negated it entirely. It's as though
お
you
前、
completely
怒られた。
ignored even the
それっ
most
てブロック
basic
取る際に
safety
金気づかないふり
protocol
し
for
ていたのに。
real-world decision-making. Or did you not
そ
grasp
れでも事
the
態の深刻さを
severity
把
of
握
the
してなかったの
situation?
でしょう
Well,
か。
I won't have that kind of
私の
risk on
関して
my
は悪い
watch.
ですが、
I'm going to
そん
stop
な
the
危
game
険
for
は
a
ないで
moment
しょうけど、
so
ちょ
we
っと
can
ゲームを中
educate
断し
you
ます。
properly on
し
safe
っかり現実世界
decision-making
にお
in
け
the
る
real
安全な意
world.
思決定
Please
の教育を
observe
したい
this
んです。
helpful
うわ、また
instructional
教育ビデオ
video.
見せられる。
Choice. It's the best part of being a
それは
real
現実の
person.
人物であるこ
But
と
if
の
used
醍醐味です。
incorrectly, can also be the
使い
most
方を誤ると
dangerous.
最も危
For
険なものとも
example,
なり得ます。
in this scenario,
このシナリオで
a
は、
hypothetical
ルパー
real
トが選
person
択
named
をしま
Rupert
す。
has a choice. He could invent a
彼は
machine that
食料不
eliminates
足を
food
解決し、
shortages
世
across
界
the
中の人
world
々の
to
生
make
活をよ
life
り良
better
くす
for
る。
all people.
え、
Or he could
もし
spend
くは何
years
の
of
働き
hard
すぎて読
work
み方を
forgetting
忘
how
れ
to
てしまう
read.
かもしれません。
Which
どっ
choice
ちの
would
チョイ
you
スがいい
make?
ですか？
Remember
え、
that unlike here,
割った
the
から
real
ハンバーガ
world
ー
makes
作るやつ。
sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform
いい
to
からよ。
rational logic.
あ、レコーデ
If you
ィッシ
find
ュ。
yourself speaking with a person who does not
2
make
足す
sense,
4は
in
素
all
晴らです。
likelihood, that person is not real.
実在してな
Allow
い。
the person to finish their
あなたが
thought,
話し続けら
then
れないの
provide
で
an
弁解します
excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a
相
partner
手
and
を
practice
こういう
saying,
練習をする
My
んです。
goodness,
なん
is
て
it
ことは4時
4:30?
半？
I'm
ほら、例
supposed
の
to
あ
be
の脱
having
毛やんな
a
きゃいけない
back
と
sack
か。
and crack.
プラクティス。
Excellent.
さっき
Making
の
choices on a regular basis is the
間違
best
った
part
選
to a
択肢。
healthy decision-making process. Most
いや、
medical
最も間違
professionals
った
recommend
選択
making
肢や
at
っと
least
るやん、
8
ルバート
choices
君。
per day.
1
Do you
日
make
にや
more
っと
than
る。
8? Less? And finally, if you begin to
モ
wonder
ア
if
と
your
レス
choices
の
are
さ、
actually
例が極
meaningful
端す
and
ぎ
whether
る。
you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should
煽り方
subside.
が壮大な
At
ん
this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
オンワークってやつね。
Ah,
Oh,
welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun
お
to
お、物語
deteriorate
の
as a
矛盾
result
によ
of
ってこん
narrative
なことになっちゃっ
contradiction.
たってこと。
But not to worry. Now that you're properly
いい意思決定
informed
の
on good
知識があり
decision
ま
making,
す。
we're
はい。
going to revisit a choice you
何
made
が
just
正
a
解だ
few
ったの
minutes
かを
ago
考え
and
てみ
see
まし
what
ょ
the
う。
correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
こちらです。うわ、いたいたいた。推しの剣。 柵がされてる。さあ。
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
ダメか。
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
整っていないようです。開かないこっちも。なんで？これなんとかしたらこれ。板も取られちゃう。なんとかこいつの思惑の外へ行きたいんやけど。この椅子とか。ダメか。くそ。なんか違うことしたい。天の弱を苦しめて楽しいですか？そんなに。プロテインありがとうございます。飲ませていただきます。あのプロテイン飲みながらリングフィットアドベンチャーしようかと考えたんですけど、存外早めにお風呂入っちゃって、もうできませんってなって。
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
はい。リアルの世界でうまくいくためにナレーターの言うこと聞けてね。
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
間に合わなくなれ。バグってる。まったく。
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely, to willingly destroy all of my work? No. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
しなくても。わーい、地震だ。なあ、自分の作品壊されたからって切れちゃった。どこですか？
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you. You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
あなたはまだほんの子供なんです。
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
ここで逆に言うこと聞くやつ
When
いなさ
Stanley
そうだ
came
か
to
ら
a
言う
set
こと
of
聞き
two
ます。
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
こじらした天の弱はこうなります。
Yet there was not a single person here
あれ、これ
either.
待って戻る？
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
わ、全部遊び心な。ここバスルームやったやん。遊び心な、こいつの部屋。おお、なんか違うでも。
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out.
やってみる。
Stanley had been trained never to speak
決して
up,
大声を
but
出さないよう
now
訓
he
練
would
してま
draw
した。
from
そ
within
う、麦も
himself
ね、
the courage to
ラブホ
face
テ
the
ルで寝泊まりし
unknown.
てたから大声
He
出すなって
drew
言わ
a
れてる。
sharp breath and then spoke the code.
ナイシャーク115。ナイシャーク。
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
ナ
He
イシ
spoke
ャ
it
ーク
into the receiver right
115。
there on the wall.
ナイシャーク115。ナイシャーク。
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
何よ。
You didn't mishear me, did
気
you?
間違いじゃないですよね。
Please speak the
レシーバ
code
ーの
into the
中にちゃんと声に出
receiver.
してコードを言っ
Otherwise,
て
we
もらい
can't
ます。
get on with the
声
story.
出してま
This
すけ
is a
ど、
crucial step.
発音が良くないってことですか？ナイシャーク115。
Okay, fine.
Oh,
You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you had better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
めっちゃ怒ってる。何？怖っ。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
あれだ。怒られて嫌になって麦ゲームやめちゃって。
Stanley?
怒られて嫌になってゲームやめた人してんだこ
Is
れ。
everything okay? Stanley,
ワン
please.
はい。
I need you to make a choice.
ああ、ほら。麦がいないと何もできないじゃん。ジエンドってね。
Are you listening to me?
うん。
Can you hear me?
聞こえません。バカめ。
Stanley, this is important.
No, 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 no.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
あなたが
It
必要です。
cannot
あなたの
exist
決定
without
が
you.
必
You
要なので
understand
す。
me?
No,
Whatever choice
い
you
ま
make is just
せ
fine.
ん
They're。both correct. You cannot be
そん
wrong
な
here. We
人
can
間
work
は
together. I'll
いま
accept
せん。
whatever
この
you
世
do. I simply need
に。
you to take that step
あな
forward,
た
please.
いや、no, no, 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 no,
Do something.
no, 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 no,
This is more important than you can ever know.
no,
I need this.
no, もう怒りましたけど。
So,
もうへそ曲げました。スタンリーは。
are you there? You listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
いません。
Okay. It's okay. I can
OK、
wait.
待ってますよ、全然。
You need time to decide.
決めたりどっちを私が確信するのに時間が必要ですよね。あ、なんか、現実としだした。
That's all right.
大丈夫。あなたが正しいことを決めるのを待ちます。違うよ。
Take as much time as you need.
必要なだけ時間をかけてくださいな。ほら、麦がいないと何にもできないじゃん。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace.
ジェントルメンブリーズ
Yet
です、これが。
assertive, yet compassionate.
どうしようか
Stanley
な。
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind.
いっぱい
The
倉
bucket
庫み
was
たいなと
wrong.
この
Stanley took the door on his left
手
to
前
go back to
を
the
バケ
meeting
ツ持
room,
っていく。
No,
said the
Meow.
bucket.
don't go to the meeting
Don't
room.
go to
Go
the
somewhere
meeting
else.
room.
The cargo
Go
lift,
somewhere
yes.
else.
Go there. Go
Go
to the
there.
cargo lift.
No, 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 no. Here. Phew. 何これ。バケツくんなんか言ったらどうなんだ。ん？なんこれ。
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number.
わからなくなった。見失った。
I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing
現実を
feels
何も
real
感じない。
anymore. The longer I
このバ
study
ケツを
this
なんか研
bucket,
究するほどにどんな意
the
味も
less
失っていく。
sense anything makes.
自分勝手に消えた後に捨てられた時泣き落とそうとするメール。
Every
手
time,
に取るたびに感じる純粋な幸福感。それは何
no
を感
matter
じて
how
た。
many times
い
I've
つだって
done it,
同じ感覚。
it's
へえ。
always the
抱きしめ
same
るたびに
feeling.
新鮮な幸せ。
And the emptiness in
それ
my
を書くと
chest
胸の中は空
when
虚
I
と
set
も
it down.
意味がわからない。バケツ持ちながら喋ってない。
Sense.
なんか
There's
カチャカチャや
no
ってる。
explanation
説明
for
しよ
it.
うがないのだ。
I still
なぜこのバケツを
haven't
腕の
figured
中に
out
抱いた時
why
こんな
I
にも世界
see
は
the
変わって見える
world
のかが未だにわ
so
からない。
differently when this bucket
うん、
is in my arms.
なぜ
Why
全てがそう感
everything
じるのか。
feels so.
え、これ後ろにさ、ゾンビ立ってる時じゃん。こ
What
れ
do I do with this treasure?
後ろ振り返ってゴガーって一回一撃入れられた状態で戦闘アクションシーンに入るやつで。そうだ。
It's
このバケツが
unthinkable the
過ご
amounts
す
of
のがたった
money
1時間で
people
も
will
人は
pay
金を
for
払い、
even
それは
just
想
an
像を絶する
hour
額になるだろ
with
う。
the bucket.
麻薬密売人と同じ発想してるよ。
It's my golden
俺の
ticket.
金をチケットだ。
But I have to be
慎重にならな
careful
くてはいけないぞ。この
because
こ
as
とが知
soon
れ
as
渡
this
ったら
gets out, there's
俺の
going
背
to be
中
a
を狙ってくる
target
やつ
on
がい
my
る。
back. Even now, I
今
don't know who
誰
might
が
be
狙って
trying
くるか
to.
分かったものでは。後ろにいる。
What's that?
なんだ。
Who's
ここ
there?
に誰がいるのか。狙われる。
Camporata.
後ろに来る。なんかささやいてる。ああ、死んじゃった。こっちでもその声が聞こえて。あ、ならないんだ。ホラーゲームならなってたよ。このゲームでも同じささやき声が背後から聞こえて死ぬ。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
メモ。閉めれるじゃん。ソリティアやってる。突然のホラーゲームで全人類が泣け。何のヘイトが溜まってるんだ。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
い
lounge
やでも
first,
ホラーゲーム
just
や
to
りたいんだよ
admire it.
な。怖いやつ教えて
Standing
く
now
だ
in this
さい。で
incredible
もあれは見
room,
ちゃいました
Stanley for the
子供用
first
教
but
育番
eager to
組
get
の
back to
ホラー
business,
ゲームは
Stanley took the
もうやっ
first
てる
open
人
door
の
on
動
his
画を見ちゃ
left.
ったからそれ以外でなんか危ないね。それ以外でなんか面白いな。
Stanley was so bad at following
教えてください。
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
いいあ、違う違う。行き過ぎた。怖い怖い怖い怖い。 よいしょ。麦のホラーゲーム。
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
これはすべてあなたのせいなのです。はぁ？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
バケツいる？一回バケツなしでその。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
ホワイトボードエンディングだ。ででーん。ドッグモード。あ、やった。
Stanley's bucket.
タッチ音がすべてドッグになった。
Stanley clutched the
やった
bucket tightly to his
ホワイ
chest
トボードエンディング
and
見れた
entered。the door on his left.
やった、エンド回収や。やった。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
クリッ
to
ク
go
する
back
た
to
び
the
犬の
meeting
鳴き
room.
声する。
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
いや、アドベンチャーライン。犬の声止まんねえな。いや、麦が本当に求めてるもの。アドベンチャーライン行こうか。
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as
音
well.
楽もついてたね。てってれってれってれってれってれ。てってれってれって。
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley's addicted to
スタンリーは
drugs.
ドラッグとバイスあ言われてた
It's as classic now as it was back
それ
then.
当時
Let's do it for the fans,
ファン
Stanley.
のためにやり
Let's
ましょ
give
う
them
スタンリ
more
ー彼らも
content
欲しがってるまさ
exactly
にこ
like
のような
this.
コンテ
But
ンツ
if
を
we
ま
want
た
to
与え
do
ましょう
that, you're going to have to
そ
give
れやるに
something
は
up.
何か諦めなくてはいけません何をバケツは諦めないからなそうナレッターがねたまにスタンリーのテンションを追い越すんだよねで向きが負けないような大声出すんだけど犬の声響くここだと
Don't you get it, Stanley?
何
We need to get
バケ
rid
ツを
of
追
the
い払う
bucket.
な
That's
バケ
why
ツは
I'm very
仲間だ
proud
ぞ
to introduce a brand new character.
新キャラ
This is the
バケ
Bucket
ツデストロイ
Destroyer.
ヤー
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the
Yeah.
rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True,
だって
it
これ
also was not in the
二人目の
original
バケ
game,
ツ
but
な
it's
んだ
such
け
a
ど
well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the
やだや
cast
だ
all along. Don't you agree?
やだやだ
Can you guess what the Bucket
バケツ
Destroyer
デストロイ
does?
ヤーをバケツを
Surely
デ
you
スト
don't
ロイ
need
す
me
る
to
んだろ
spell
う
it out for you.
やだ
Go
やだ
ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the
これ
bucket.
でさよならを
and
言
then
え
pop it into
準
the
備は早
machine
く
when
こ
you're
の
ready.
機械にポンと入れちゃってくださいそんなことできないバケツは
Now listen to
仲
me.
間だぞ
It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
バケツを渡
I
すこ
don't
とが
know
大
what
事
the
なのに
bucket
バケツを
destroyer
破壊
will
でき
do
ない
if it
バケ
can't
ツデストロ
destroy
イヤー
your
は何をするか
bucket.
分かりません
Destroying
よ
buckets is
バケ
all
ツを
it
破壊する
knows.
ことしか知ら
That
ない
is its
それが
singular
ただ
personality
一つの個
trait.
性なのです
Sure, I can hear you
たった一つ
saying,
の個
how
性
does
し
a
かないキャ
character
ラ
with
が
only one personality trait deserve to join
どうや
the
ってスタンリー
pantheon
パラ
of
ブルの
beloved
愛され
Stanley
主要キャラ
Parable
クターの一員に
characters?
なれるんだろう
Well, you
か
see,
声が聞
if
こえ
you
る
were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the adventure line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry
ファンも
and
バケツが大事って言ってるびっくりした
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were
あなたは立派でした
magnificent.
バケツデストロイヤーのお役はごめんってわけゆっくりフェードアウトよしじゃあバケツ潰した方のエンディングも見るか
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
バケツ潰して先に進むエンディングも
Really Stanley
い
at
いよ
all?
ね
No,
バケツな
surely
しの
not.
スタンリーは本当にスタンリーなのです
Stanley
が
clutched the
言え
bucket
そうではあり
tightly
ま
to
せ
his
ん
chest. This was not the correct
これ
way
も
to
脱
the
ぎだ
meeting
よ
room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
バケツデストロイ
And
ヤー
here
に
it
バケツ
was.
あげ
Had
て
the
みま
bucket
しょう
turned
ね
out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind.
バケツが
The
悪かっ
bucket
たん
was
だ
wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back
Ayo.
to the... And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to
メ
the
ンテナン
opposite
ス部を
door.
開始だメンテナンス部なんだ
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you,
安心
Stanley.
せ
We've come
安心
together
せ
here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
Yeah.
We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They
ファン
want
が
more of
喜ぶ
their
ようなこと
favorite
しようぜっ
jokes,
て言っ
not
て
this
またナレーターの
bucket that
解
they've
雇
never
中だ
seen
と思う
before.
これ
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the
嘘
bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley's addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is...
はあ。ダメだ。バケツを与えれないわ。ちょっと、ネギの感情を、スタンリーの感情が上回った。あとね、やりたいことあった。これ。
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed. Then days. Had years gone by, he no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
来た
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
バケツネギさん結構何にでもリアクション取り楽しそうにやる
All
か
of
ら
his co-workers
いや
were
楽し
gone.
いじゃんこ
What
の
could
ゲ
it
ーム
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あとなんかできることあるかなネギは見てないおもろいエンディングあったりすんのかなちょっと調べてでもやってみたいけどねせっかくこれ最後だしリスニングできるの助かる一応ね聞こえた部分だけは訳したけど合ってるかもわかんないしほんの一部だけ
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
あ、ドア挟まれた。
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go,
あ、やったな。悩ませるやつね。
from here, it's, left.
Left.
Oh,
no,
no,
右
it's
です。
to the right.
知っ
My
てます。
mistake.
言ってたもん。
No,
No,
not
no.
the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a
待
minute,
ってあ
please?
げましょう。仕方ないな。
Now, let's see. We went down, right, left,
右、
down,
左、下、
left,
左、
right.
右。
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
はい。ここ行ったよね、多分ね。行ったわ、そう。あ、行ったか。やめとこう。これなんか壊れて何周もループして、もう動きませんわーってなるやつな気がする。あとなんやろな。ちょっとエンディング見てみようか。ここにバケツあるけど。なんやこれ。
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he
なんで
felt a
こんな
connection to
省エネ
all
に。
buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
あと何あるかな。
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than
なんと
ever.
コストエフィ
Perhaps
シエ
his
ント。
boss's office was where he'd find answers.
これは違うわ。普通になってる。
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be
もし
in
もっと
here
待
for
ってたら何時間も
hours.
いられるで
But
しょうけど。
alas,
し
no
かし、
stickers.
ステッカーがないのです。ダメなのか。あれ、そうだ、そういえば。ちょっとね、今見てたんやけどさ、あれやってない。バケツと一緒に
Stanley
さ、
had never seen the office this brightly lit.
どこだ
Was
っ
it a
けあ
sign
れ
of something?
どっかの
He hoped it
エレベー
was.
ターみたい
He
な
hoped
のを
very much
上
that
り
it
下り
was.
したらさ、そう、社長室の向こうよ。社長室の
When
向こうで
Stanley
エレ
came
ベー
to
タ
a
ー上
set
り下
of
りし
two
たら、
open doors,
3
he
を押す
entered
こ
the
とに
door
つ
on
い
his
てのなん
left.
か楽しさになんでこんな気づいてくんないんだろうみたいな感じでさ、何回も戻っては3を押し続けたみたいなしてたじゃん。あれ、バ
Yet
ケ
there
ツ
was
なし
not
で
a
やってな
single
い気がす
person
る。
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
28
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
絶対さ、待ってた方が早いかも。これなんか、あれかも。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
ここ、ここだっけ？こっち？ここ、そう、これを上下してないと。ほい。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
著作権かすめ取られない？大丈夫。次まだ収益化してないから。
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
なんで結局戻るんだったらこんなエレベーター乗ったのって言われてるけど、この何回も上下するのをやってない。
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all this? Did you think we were going to go forward down this spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
どうかな？何が待ってるかな、このエレベーターの先に。なんだろう。コードが束ねてあるね。調子のいすだ。
Oh my god.It's the boss's office.
びっくりした。
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
時間ください。水の緑だ。絶対著作権剥がされる。絶対著作権剥がされる。
Okay, I'm ready.I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
そうだよ。さあ。喋ってくんなくなっちゃった。
You know what?
はい。
I've just thought of something.
なんか今思ったんだけど、ちょっと待って、一回止めよう。やめろって。エレベーター途中で止まるのめっちゃ怖いんやから。
You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know. People look up to you, which is why... So I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
やったー
Okay,
バケ
the
ツ
room
に
we're holding
対
the
して
press
じゃな
conference
い
should be just
ラ
around
イ
the
ブオ
corner
ン
here
ステー
somewhere.
ジ or ice on ライブオンステージナイス講演会とか憧れるのは絶対できないんだけどさワールドピースベイビー
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
ワールドファーストサイエンティストマシン
All right, are you
Yes,
ready?
it's
I've told them you're going to speak a
Stanley.
little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm
鏡が確
really
認でき
proud
ない
of
よ
you,
この女優
Stanley.
ミラーがよ
Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
頑張っ The dude who came up with pizza Doing great The guy who went to Mars 火星に行った男バケツの時と違う極度の上がり症により死んでしまったかもしれん極度に上がって死んでしまった
The meeting room. Yes, that's where
I guess
everyone
so.
would be.
So
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
うわーすごいじゃんめっちゃ人いたよめっちゃ見てくれたけどでな
What new mysteries lay in store for our
あと
bucket-loving
一
heroes
個
today?
だ
Let's
け
find out.
やりたいのがあっていやそれ以外になんか面
Stanley
白いのが
clutched the bucket
知
tightly
って
to
る
his
人がい
chest
るなら教え
and
てほしいん
entered
や
the
けど
door on his left.
今んとこ私がやりたいなって思ってるやつは一個だけあってなんか
Still no one was here.
あの
Stanley
最
needed the
後の
bucket's
最後で
warmth
ね
and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
この本当に終盤でね
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion
なん
and
かすごい言っ
chaos.
てる。
It would be with him
なんだ
always.
っけ
The bucket would.
あれ
And he knew it. The two of them were
うるさい。
inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the
キーパッ
keypad
ドに気
behind
づ
the
かつ
boss's
きませんで
desk.
した。
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
8245してた。
But Stanley guessed the correct code by
ま
sheer
たこの
luck.
運です。
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the
Oh.
bucket guiding him?
Oh.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
はい。の最後の最後。飛び越えられると聞きました。フェンスを。
The elevator raced downward,
Oi.
plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket, soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
ここのね、こうがね、こうなの。
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, but a cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply.
バケツをひどく不安にされました。いつもこんな風じゃなかったの。あなた変わっちゃったよ。何度も手を差し伸べようとしましたがうまくいきません。スタンリーは考えること、話すこと、戻ってもう一度やり直すこと、道を進むことでした。
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
ああ、バケツとのエンドを認めらんなかったか、いや。という感じで。
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket.
This
and indeed it was.
is a bucket. ああ。じゃあおしまいかな。まあ、麦はまだやるけど、このゲーム。味わい尽くしますけど、でも、一旦配信でやるのは ここまでにしよっかしら。ということで、最後バケツと一緒の、バケツと一緒じゃエンドが見れるんだ。
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now
バ
more
ケツ
than
と一
ever.
緒にどこ行こう
Perhaps
か
his
な。
boss's office
ここ
was
で
where he'd... Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here
あ
for
りがとうござ
hours.
いまし
But
た。
alas,
なんか他に
no
さ、
stickers.
面白いエンドとかあるの知ってるよっていう人いたら教えてくれると暇な時にやってわーすげーってなります。あとね、一つ明日ね、あれよ、ポケモンユナイトのコラボ、5人でコラボがあるから見てくれると嬉しいです。また枠は作ります。予約して枠立てとくやつさ、一生してないじゃん。1回ぐらいしてみないと、練習しないとなんて思ってるんだよね。またちょっとやり方見てみます。ということで、お疲れ様でした。見てくれた人、みんなありがとうございます。おつむぎありがとう。じゃあね。バイバイ。お疲れ様。おやすみ。